Hello, welcome. I'm so glad that you're here. Welcome to Beyond the Loss, Conversations in Grief Education and Healing. I'm Shari Dworkin-Smith, that's S-H-A-R-I, Dworkin-Smith, and I am a certified grief educator, a psychic medium, and a hypnotherapist. This is our safe space where we can navigate our grief journeys by sharing our stories and our feelings, along with tools to help us move through grief in more meaningful ways. Whatever kind of grief that you're carrying, whether you're grieving the loss of a person, a pet, a job, a relationship, or maybe you're struggling, like a lot of people this week, with the tragic events in the world. Whatever it is, this is the place where we can talk about it. First off, I want to continue letting people know that we have noticed the AI text assistance being used by the Spotify app is not as smart as it thinks it is, and it has been misspelling my name. So if you're looking for me on my website, please be sure you check A1R Psychic Radio because they've got it right. I'm Shari, that's SHARI, DWORKINSMITH.com. Okay. It's been a rough few days, right? Even so, I'm very glad to be here with you, and I thank you for coming along on the journey. Before we get to some callers today, I want to mention that tonight is the third night of Hanukkah, and I want to wish everyone who's celebrating a very happy, joy-filled, safe Hanukkah. I'm sure many of you are aware of that the community of Sydney, Australia, was rocked by a horrific act of senseless violence against the Jewish community as two gunmen brutally murdered 16 people and injured dozens more. This was a targeted, horrific act of anti-Semitism meant not just to cause harm to the Australian Jewish community, but to Jews worldwide. And the global Jewish community is indeed in deep pain. And I'm sure that you join me in sending healing light and the energy of love to all who are injured as we grieve those who were so violently taken from us. People here in the United States and around the world are still reeling from this week's brutal murders of Carl Reiner and his wife, Michelle, U.S. soldiers and contractors who were killed in an attack in Syria. And if you happen to be a soap opera fan, specifically General Hospital, which has been on the air for over 60 years, you may also be aware that actor Anthony Geary, who played the quintessential character of Luke Spencer for almost 40 years, passed away from surgical complications on Sunday as well. It has been a lot in a very short period of time. Add to that the stress of the holidays with shopping, shipping, budgeting, family, travel, and on and on. And people are carrying a whole lot of things that can all be connected to grief. So please be kind to yourself. Christmas and Kwanzaa are right around the corner as well. So whatever you are celebrating, even if that's just a little extra time off, I want to take a minute to wish you and your families a hopefully happy and safe and joy-filled holiday. Even with all of the tragedy and the trauma that so many of us are carrying, there is still a lot to celebrate and a lot to be grateful for. And I'm grateful for you sharing this time with me. As we get ready for our first caller, remember that grief is definitely not linear. So some days are going to be better than others, and it's okay to laugh and to enjoy yourself in the holidays and with friends and family. And if today is not that day, then it's not. And plain and simple. We do not need to justify ourselves to anyone else. So wherever you are, and however you're feeling, just know you're not alone. And this is a safe space for us to process some of that. And so looks like we have Tiffany in Darlingford, Manitoba, Canada, on the line with us. So thank you, Tiffany, for being with us.
Hello.
Hi. How can we help you today?
I was just wanting to know anything about like career, health, finances, kind of thing.
Okay. It sounds like you're looking for a little bit more of a psychic reading today. Yes?
Yeah.
Okay. So our podcast is about grief, and we're here to help people who are processing grief, stress from the holidays, loss, anything like that. So is there anything in there that we could help you with today?
Um, yeah, actually, like this is the first Christmas without my grandpa and my grandma. They both passed
Yeah.
away this past year.
Oh, I'm so sorry for your loss. What were their names, Tiffany?
Doreen and Victor.
Okay. They were married a very long time.
They weren't married. Well, sorry, that's two different sides.
Okay, gotcha. I understand. Okay. And it sounds like, and I'm not, yes, psychic medium, yes, but not so much with the voices, but it sounds like you're an adult. It sounds like you're, a person who's had a few decades, and what a blessing it is to have had your grandparents well into adulthood. A lot of people don't have that. And so, that's one thing to be grateful for sure. And the fact that you mentioned them so quickly at the top of your mind, it tells me that they were very important to you as well. And I feel like there is a sense of humor there with your granddad. Yeah. Like a strong sense of humor.
Yeah.
Yeah. So one of the things that we want to do, especially as we come into the holidays and we're looking around and we see that empty chair and we see that person is not there, and we can feel that the loss of their presence. It's not just the loss of the person in our lives, but now we can see so clearly the empty chair at the table where that person sat just last year. So one of the things that we can do is we look at how can we bring their presence into the family. Some people choose to pretend as if nothing is going on. And I find that to be a slightly unhealthy way to process grief. And it really depends on where you are in your grief journey. But I would ask you, Tiffany, to look at how can you bring your grandparents into the celebrations of the holidays? Is there an ornament that you might have that, was given to you or reminds you of them, that when you hang that on the tree, you can say, this is going to be my ornament that honors my granddad, and this one is the one that honors my grandmother? Is there a special recipe that perhaps you associate with them, and some ways that you could bring them closer to you in the holiday time?
Yeah, my grandma always prepared or brought something every single year to eat. And then my grandpa, he was big on playing a card games. So, yeah, we will remain doing that because we enjoy it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And, make sure to tell the stories, because that is something that is really going to renew the memories with you, but it's also going to share those traditions and those memories with the next generations in your family so that they can really remember and feel like they knew them too. I know for me personally, one of my grandparents passed when my children were very, very young, and his wife was the last one. And so my kids knew her very well. But there's lots of things we can do to fill in the gaps with our younger generations to tell those stories about our previous generations, to keep those memories alive. Would you understand something with your grandmother about around pies? Um, like a specific pie?
A specific what, right?
A pie, like a pie you would bake when you sing something. I had this strong smell of what feels like it might have been peach pie or peach cobbler, something to that extent.
Well, she always made like Christmas pudding.
Oh, okay. I don't know what that is.
Yeah, it has like the gum or the gumdrop kind of. Yeah, when it's fruit, it's a fruit.
Oh, okay. 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 Well, that
Yeah,
certainly makes sense.
and then it had like
So,
a caramel sauce on it or something. So yeah.
okay. So it sounds kind of cobblery to me. So, okay. That sounds wonderful. And are there others, as you are celebrating the holidays this season, larger family gatherings? Yes.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. And so you
Just
may
yeah,
choose.
with her being gone. Sorry, was that?
Oh, no, go ahead. With her being gone.
With her being gone, we were worried that like we were kind of split up, or that everybody was deemed to still have the gathering. So I was happy for that.
That's really good. That's really good. Because, yeah, it can happen for sure. When the matriarch or the patriarch is no longer there to keep everybody together, to be, oh, we're going to do this at our house, or we're going to do, and so you can see that kind of splintering apart. So that's wonderful if the family has chosen actively to keep everybody gathering in one place. That is a really great, one, it speaks to the strength of your family and to the health of your healing as you're moving through this time. But at the same time, it's a great opportunity to reach out to the other now senior members of the family to say, hey, what can we do to be sure that we are honoring these previous generations in our holiday celebrations? Do we want to put up an extra picture? Do we want to light a candle? For me, I use a lot of the pieces of servingware that were given to me by when my grandmothers had passed, things like that. My grandfather was a big pipe smoker, so I will always have a pipe that's kind of just hanging around, just to keep the presence there. So it might be worth it for you to connect with the other senior members of your family, siblings and such, and see, if they have anything particular that they would like to do to honor your grandparents in that way as well.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm always a big fan of a toast as well, especially if people are feeling festive and grief is never easy. And sometimes we have more of those hard feelings, not like, oh, I'm mad, but hard feelings like that are harder to process. But if you can, it's always kind of nice to get everybody together to do a toast for the people who are not here, especially as we come towards the New Year's. A lot of people do those kind of toasts to honor the legacy and the family that those people have left behind, because you all are their legacy. You all staying together and celebrating together, you all are their legacy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
Well, now you had asked me, just because I can hear it in my head, so I want to ask, I do want to, before I let you go, I do want to ask, because you did say something about career information, and it does feel like there's a split in your road ahead of time, because I know we want to focus on grief, but if it comes in, I'm going to share it with you. But there does feel like there's a split in the road for you, that there is a choice to be made about your career future, that you can stay where you are, but if you are open to it, it does feel like there's another opportunity that will present itself to you, and it just depends on if you are choosing to be open to that or not. And I do want to also ask, are you were we contemplating retirement for you, or semi-retirement? There's something that I feel about stepping backwards, stepping away from the current job position. Do you understand?
Well, it's kind of funny. I'm not retired because I'm 36, but I have been a stay-at-home mom for a while. I just have a lot of casual jobs. But my daughter kind of jokingly says, I'm retired. She's young and doesn't really understand. I'm like, no, dear, I'm not retired. I do casual jobs here and there. So it's, it's funny that you say that, because she had just mentioned that I'm retired, even though I'm not.
That's why
I just work casually at a bunch of jobs.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
No wonder. I heard this word retired in my head. I'm like, I don't know where to put that, but I hear it. So, okay. Well, it does feel like there's an opportunity for you if you choose to step out further into something that's a little bit more formalized, because it does feel like you're coming to that place where maybe the kids would be a little bit more in school, that you could do a little bit more if you chose to. But there's also something about you valuing independence, and it might be worth it to consider some other kind of a home-based business. I know there's about 1 million different choices out there these days, but it might be something to consider there as well, because there is a bit of an entrepreneurial spirit with you, and you would understand that, yes?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So choose something that makes you happy. Choose something that you would feel, proud and excited to be involved in. So does that make sense?
Yep.
Yeah. Well, Tiffany, thank you so much for spending some time with us. I'll tell you, you are officially our second guest ever on Beyond the Loss. And so I'm really just delighted to know you and to meet you. And I wish you the most wonderful, happy, joy-filled holiday season with your family. Keep holding everybody together. That really is something that is so important. Laughter and being together in our energies, that is really the glue that holds everyone together. So I hope you all have an absolute ball this holiday season.
Well, thank you very much, and hope you have a great holiday.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Okay, so it looks like we have Paula in South Dakota. Who is next?
Yes, I'm Paula. Yes,
Hi, Paula, and you're in Yankton?
Yankton, South Dakota. Yes.
That's awesome. I imagine it is very, very cold there today.
No, actually, it's really warm here today.
Is it? Is it?
Yep.
I don't know.
Snow's all melted and warm.
I don't know. How do you define warm, Paula? I live in Florida.
Oh, well, yeah, not as warm as that. You got your humidity there, but yeah, no, it's warm. You don't have to wear a coat, a light windbreaker.
Nice.
So,
well, thank you for joining us.
It's really nice.
Oh, I love hearing that. I love that. How can I help you? What kind of a loss are you struggling with? Or how can I help you with something in your grief journey today?
I'm just, trying to get over my daughter's father because we were separated, but he passed on. He's been passed on over a year, and we were like best friends. And we, he just was my comfort zone when I needed advice. And I just wanted to see how he was kind of feeling everything's going.
Okay. So you're a safe space person, right? That person who, you could just kind of lean into for all things, right?
Yes.
Right. Okay. And what was his name? What was his name?
Mike.
Mike.
M-I-K-E. Mike.
Okay. Mike. Okay. So as I feel into this energy, and you may have heard me say this to Tiffany and our previous caller as we're coming into this holiday season, it's really important that we're honoring the memory of those people who are not here. So what were some things that you and Mike would enjoy to do together when he was still with you?
Playing music or hiking.
Okay. Fantastic.
Walking in the woods
so playing.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I love all that. That just to walk in the nature is just so energizing and so healing for sure.
Yes, it's beautiful and healing.
I bet, especially when there is a little bit of crunchy snow in there.
Yes.
Is there any reason?
I'm not a snow person.
I'm not either, but I have a little bit of experience, and it's always nice that it makes that crunch sound that I find fascinating.
Yeah.
Being a Florida girl. Now, is there any reason, because it feels to me like there's a walking area that's pretty close to home where you could just get close to the trees pretty quickly right outside your door, yeah?
Oh, yes. I have a beautiful cemetery. I kind of just walk out my door and across the street. There's a beautiful cemetery with lots of trees. And I like to walk in there.
Yeah. And well, is there any reason that you couldn't still do that, even if Mike is not with you?
It's a little hard because I adopted both my grandchildren, and she's a medically complex child, and so it's hard to get out. And then winter because her pump freezes out if it's cold out, so you gotta. She kind of keeps me homebound.
Okay.
And so I don't get out as much anymore.
Okay. Now, who was with the grandchildren when you would go walking with Mike?
They weren't born yet. And my grandson, he could go with us. Yeah, my granddaughter's 2, and I adopted her brother 9 years ago. But Mike moved out of state, and I stayed in South Dakota. He moved to Wisconsin, and I stayed to South Dakota. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we'll have to wait for walking in the woods when the weather gets a little bit warmer, it sounds like.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And tell me a little bit more about the music. You said you also like to listen to music together. So let's talk about that.
Oh, yeah, because he liked to sing and play guitar and stuff. And so we were always dancing and singing when we were together.
I love that. I love that. And you have recordings of him singing and playing?
No, I never got any recordings. No, I wish I would have now, but
Mhm.
no.
Yeah, those woulda, coulda, shouldas are one of the worst parts of grief, right?
Yes.
So here's a suggestion for you, if I may. And actually, I have two
Yeah.
suggestions for you. One is to, when you have some quiet time, probably in the evening, to just sit quietly and allow your mind to go back to those days where you could see him playing music and singing in when you were together. And so often we can really hear the music in our head, partly because we can remember the feeling of what it felt like when we were in those moments, but also because
Right.
he is around you. He's around you quite a lot. And he also
Yes.
has something of a practical joker energy around him. Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. So he is
Yes.
around you. And because when I say to you, sit quietly, and I apologize, but when I say this to you, sit quietly, I hear the sound of a whoopee cushion in my head. And so he tells me you would understand this memory. Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. He's really
And he did do the whoopee cushion to me.
yeah, he gives me this sound quite clearly in my head with
Yeah,
that.
when he was alive, he used to always do that to me, stick a whoopee cushion under my chair to freak me out a little bit. Yeah, he's a
He
joker.
is around you. Yeah, he is around you very much, and he is still
Yes.
wanting to bring that joy and that that sense of humor to you. He really is, because laughter was something that the two of you really did a lot. The two of you really
Yes.
brought that out in each other, and it's as if the two of you would egg each other on in the silliness. So
Yes.
yes. Now, can you help me understand somewhere where there's a broken arm or a broken something? Because I almost have this, where you get in a cast and you're like straight out and you can't like move your arm or something. Because he's being kind of silly with me about that, about like I'd wave, but I can't, something like that. Do you understand what he's referring to?
Yeah, sometimes he'd put wrap the kids' arms up and put IVs on them for if I went out to the store. He'd pretend they got hurt and stuff and freak me out, and the kids would be taped up with bandages and IVs like they were in the hospital. He was
Okay.
he's a character.
Well, yeah,
But yes,
he definitely
like to
likes
trick
to.
me on things.
Yeah. Now, there's also a favorite movie the two of you would watch as well, especially around the holiday time. And this is like old movies, like classic movies, like White Christmas and
Right.
Wonderful Life. Yeah. Yeah.
Yep. That
And
we did.
he's also showing me
Huh?
about throwing popcorn at the TV screen as if he like was yelling at the people in the, don't do it, you goof, like talking back to
Yeah,
the
he would
television
do
screen.
stuff like that because we always
Okay.
made popcorn. And we'd be watching westerns or old time Christmas movies, and he'd be throwing popcorn all over.
Well, he
Yeah,
is
he was a
trying,
character.
he's trying to show you that he's around you, and that even though he may not be physically with you in this holiday season, that he is still with you. Now, something I will tell you, because you're talking about a partner, you're talking about someone who was really an intimate part of your life, as opposed to
Right.
like a cousin or a friend or something like that. When you sit in the quiet in the evening and you ask him to come near to you, and if you ask him to bring the music into your head, you really will be able to hear his music. But there's something else, and I do this a lot with with both of my mediumship clients and in my grief clients, when there's a loss of a partner, that if you sit and you put your hands open on your lap, and you try to just not think of anything else, and you ask him, and sometimes it helps if you have a picture, like a physical picture that you can look at
Right.
to bring that energy closer, or a picture of the two of you together, because I think there are several of those around your house. But if you
Yes.
sit with your hands, you can ask him to squeeze your hand. And this is a fascinating thing that can happen with mediumship and our loved ones in the spirit world. If you ask him to squeeze your hand, you may very well feel like a tingling or a pins and needles sensation in your hand. Now, you might have to
That's
practice.
weird because I've been getting that a lot.
That makes perfect sense to me.
Yeah, and my pendulum's been lighting up.
Okay. Well, if you're
Yeah.
already feeling and familiar with that energy and that sensation, take it to the next level, Paula, and ask him to separate your hands to say, all right, I can feel your energy in my hands, Mike. Now I want you to show me one hand, because if you're working with a pendulum, there's the yes and the no, and there's different movements, right? So you can ask him to squeeze your hand. Which hand is my yes hand and which hand is my no hand? And now, if you can start to discern that with your loved one, putting that vibration into your hands, you can start to have kind of a 20 questions conversation with him, which can be
Yeah, because
fascinating.
I sense them around me all the time.
Yeah.
You know.
Now, do you have something new that's hanging on the wall in your house? There's something like a new picture or a new poster or something that went up real recently?
A dream catcher, yes.
Okay, because he's pointing my attention to that as well. So, well, Paula, it seems like there's some good that clearly he's around you and you wanted to know how he was doing, and he's telling you he's fine. But as you are going to honor his space and his energy through the holidays, definitely look at playing the music and bringing him near to you, bringing him close, because he definitely wants to be included for sure. All
Yeah,
right?
because it's weird. Every time this song he used to play for me, as soon as I walk in the store, it starts playing, and I was like, I know that isn't top 40s or anything. It's kind of strange. He gives me signs like that, And
Right.
yeah, it's crazy.
It sounds like
beautiful but
there's gonna
crazy.
Yeah, but enjoy the journey and enjoy the silliness of it, because
Yeah.
he's trying to make you smile for sure. So,
Yeah, because I thought I was dreaming. He showed up as a Chinese man one day, and I was like, "What?"
wow.
Yeah.
Well, Paula, I have to let you go because they're telling me we're running out of time, but I want to wish you a wonderful, happy, healthy holiday. And thank you so much for being with us. And if you or someone else around you is dealing with some grief and you'd like to work with me personally, I would be honored to help. Please don't hesitate to reach out. You can find me on all the socials. And if you've enjoyed this podcast, please be sure to share it with your friends or anyone else that you feel could benefit from listening. Thank you for spending this time. Thank you for being part of our mission to create a safe space for healing and positive change by starting some important conversations. Remember, your grief is not a problem to be solved. It's a part of you to be cared for, and that you're not alone. Aren't we lucky that we can go through these things together? Happy holidays. I look forward to seeing you next week.